Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host 𝙒𝙖𝙩𝙤. After a gap of a few weeks, we are back with Elmer Yuen, and he's going to update us the latest that is happening in China. Is Xi in, as being told? In fact, we ourselves said that he's expected to be re-elected. But what is the truth? Every day there appears to be a new story. To get the latest, let's welcome Elmer Yuen. Elmer, namaskar and welcome to PGurus channel.
Thank you for inviting me. Hi, ladies and gentlemen of India.
So, Elmer, what is happening now? Many people thought that she was a shoe-in, but looks like the fat lady hasn't sung yet.
Every day there are new stories and new rumors. So this is, in fact, I'm a little bit avoiding to appear in this program because it's like there's a new story, you don't know what to believe. And of course, the ability for the communists to cover up and keep a secret is unbelievable. They are very, very good at such security. But every day there is some leak. And then, of course, there's also some rumors. So far, you remember last time we did a program on his home arrest. But then there are many, many back and forth. Obviously, the power struggle is very serious. Sometimes she agreed to something. It's really a triangular fight. She is being one power, and the Jiang party, we call them the Shanghai Gang, is one party. And then the Communist League, I mean, those people from the Youth League and then growing up to be a party official. I mean, the three parties have been fighting. And Xi Jinping, originally, both parties, Xi Jinping had the enemy. Both the Jiang and the League were against him. And finally, he's trying to align with the League to fight the Jiang party. And at the end, right now, the latest rumor is that he's very, very successful, and he's even trying to do away with the League after he has pushed away the Jiang party. So it's happening every day. We wouldn't know until the 22nd of October. So, but right now, we should not stop speculating, because this thing is so important. The whole world is waiting for the result of whether he will be re-elected or not. So it's a very serious moment. We need to pay attention. We are speculating. Everybody is speculating. Nobody has the facts except Xi and those Politburo people. And there's another factor which we didn't talk about before, are the elderlies. Those people have retired from office. They are all 80, 90, and one of them is even 105 years old. Those party is also another force. For example, let me tell you, we are talking about the 19th Congress and the 20th Congress. There's in between. The 90th retired, and then there's a presidential committee. It's a presidential committee, consists of 46 people. And these 46 people, 22 of them are the current officials, communist officials. And then 24 of them belong to the elders. So in a way, it looks like the elders have a majority. And this presidential committee is controlling the gap between the 19th and the 20th Congress. There's always a moment that you need to elect the new generation. So they are supposed to be in charge. Yet the elderly, their attendance, because they're so old, you don't know whether some of them don't show up, about 5 of them, including Jiang. Jiang is very famous, Jiang Zemin, and 𝙒𝙗𝙖𝙩𝙦, very famous, very powerful people. And then 2 more. They're supposed to attend. They didn't even attend the opening ceremony, yet their name is on the list. So whether they are voluntarily not attending or whether they've been shut out. But these 2, at least 4 of them didn't come, at least 2 were very, very important, the leader of the Jiang family. So this is happening on a daily basis, very serious right now. And they are the one who is who is running the selection of the 200-something Central Committee members, which they've just finished selecting yesterday. And the rumor is the elderly, the 24 elderly, were not allowed to attend the selection process. All right. So there's rumors every day. So now officially they've selected the 200-something Central Committee member, and from them they will elect maybe today or tomorrow they will elect the Politburo member, and then the Politburo member will elect the standing Politburo members. Roughly about 7 of them. The number can change. It used to be 9 and then 7 and so on, always odd numbers. And they are the one really in the cabinet that makes all the decision for China. So there's a lot of speculation going on. Just the list. I mean, we have a friend showing us a list, but there are more than 20 or 30 lists of who are the selected standing Politburo members. So it's going on every day. Why is so important? Why is so important? I think we'll do another session to understand. Even people like Putin is waiting for the result. He's been waiting for a long time, since the Winter Olympics in February, because he needed China to take action with him together. But then Xi Jinping cannot until he's firmly in place. And Xi Jinping always said there is no a real man in Russia when Soviet Union broke down. So he claimed to be the man who is going to hold this whole thing together. Whole thing means the whole so-called Communist League, and including the Asian bloc, and then the European bloc, and now even the African bloc. Somehow these three blocs will be together as a common market and also a common resource. They have ordinary resource you can have, and the population, if they get hold of India, let's assume. But this is their dream. Their dream is to have the Asian bloc, the European bloc, and the African bloc. And this will be to fight the American or the Western Europe. This is their dream. I mean, it used to be Putin supposed to be number one. Now Russia is losing the war. So he's really on his knees for the Chinese to help him. So in a way, Xi Jinping has become the emperor for this whole three blocks. And it's a big dream. Thank you.
So a couple of questions that come up from what you just said, Elmer. The first question is that is Putin waiting for this coronation before making a move in Ukraine? Because we know that they are trying various things, the latest being trying to use Iranian drones at the Kiev population in public areas. That's what Ukraine is alleging. So this is very dangerous, because now you are going into the next level where they could be tried for war criminals in case, whenever the thing ends, and Putin could be tried as a war criminal, just like a Nuremberg trial after the Second World War. So that is one thing. He's still holding the line there, while still continuing to lose, area in the southern part of Ukraine that they had captured. The second thing is, you answered that one, and the second thing I ask after that. Please go ahead.
So what the reason Putin is waiting, we remember even in the beginning of the war, back in February, he already threatened to use nuclear weapon. And you remember at the Winter Olympic, before the Winter Olympic, he flew to Beijing, met with Xi Jinping, and Xi Jinping asked him to wait until they signed about 50 agreements together, secret agreement together. And Xi Jinping asked him to wait until the Winter Olympic is finished. Then Putin attacked Ukraine unsuccessfully, of course, and really had a bloody nose. And he was hoping that Xi Jinping would start the other front in the Pacific. But Xi Jinping has been dragging, because he had opposition inside his party in China. The elderly and the other members of the Standing Politburo were against it, because most Chinese are very much against the Russian, because they found Russian has taken away a total of 2 million square kilometer of land from China, including the Russian Far East, and then the Republic. Tuva Republic, west of Mongolia. Altogether, Chinese feel that they have, including even Mongolia itself used to be part of China. So altogether, Russian have taken away 2 million square kilometer of land from China. So they are very not supportive. But Xi Jinping himself believed in this total size, the 3 blocks, and to be dominate, to be powerful. So he always called himself a big power. When he met with even Obama, he wanted America and China to share the middle of Pacific, means China to the west of Pearl Harbor and U.S. to the east of Pearl Harbor. That's his. That's his line.
East of Pearl Harbor, there is nothing. No Japan, no South Korea.
It's all his. It's all his. This is his way of thinking. All right, Southeast Asia, India, it's all belong to him. This is their way of thinking. This is the communist way of thinking. I mean, in a way, Russian thinks the same. They think everything belongs to them. That's why they said even Europe, Sweden belong to them, Baltic belong to them, Poland belong to them, and then you have Hungary, Romania, Albania, you name it. And the whole Balkan belong to them. That's Putin's thinking. This is the way these guys think. I mean, they want to build emperors. They are the real imperialists, so to speak. But anyway, this is their dream. And right now, Xi Jinping is supposed to be this, will dominate this. So he is the leader or the emperor of this whole thing, the new world. So Putin had an agreement with Xi Jinping, really to attack at the same time on 2 fronts, so that the U.S. will come and negotiate. We're not talking about, they're not crazy. They don't want to start World War III, but they use World War III to threaten a better bargain, a better settlement. So, of course, the only weapon they've left right now is the tactical and then the strategic nuclear weapon. This is what they have. And they understand. They are not afraid to use it because they are not elected. That somehow they got away with being in power. Look at Putin; he's been in power for 22 years. All right, and what kind of election is that? It's a lot of scandal. But of course, China even more. There is no election. So they know that the West is not willing to take such a risk. The West, especially people like us, are afraid of World War III, the destruction of mankind. So they can use that to bargain and get themselves a better position to remove all the sanctions against China and Russia, and then really allow them to develop their 3 block of economy as one. And this is what they're aiming at. So they wanted to do at the same time, they want to really to fight the 2 fronts at the same time. And now it looks like while Xi Jinping is going through this re-election process, they have used North Korea. North Korea in the last 10 days has been shooting missiles and so on every day because Xi Jinping cannot do anything during the election. So they use North Korea, give him a lot of oil.
To keep the pot boiling all the time.
Yeah, and keep it boiling so that keep the threat. And then you can also see that this is their whole plan. This is the way I see it. This is their whole plan. Can I start with the second session now?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm going to wrap up this with one more question, and then we will go to the second session. The last question
let me finish this. All right. Why do I think this is? China has ordered the Kiev, Ukraine capital's Chinese embassy, to ask all the Chinese to leave Ukraine. This is like 2 days ago. They've given the order through the Chinese embassy in Kiev So all the Chinese should leave Ukraine. Obviously, China is afraid of Russian using a tactical nuclear weapon on Ukraine soil, and it's known. And at the after the meeting in Uzbekistan, Putin sent his very senior advisor to Fujian province, which is next to the Taiwan Strait. And this is he was accompanied by the highest level diplomatic guy, 𝙒𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙦, to survey the Taiwan Strait from Fujian province. And what for? What for? The only reason is he wants to check whether this is the suitable, Taiwan Strait is suitable to use the weapon or not. It looks like the Russians have better developed tactical nuclear weapon than China. So they may use the same weapon both in the Taiwan Strait and also in Ukraine. So this is the way they are waiting. Putin is waiting for Xi Jinping to be re-elected and to sit firmly in his position as the party secretary or the head of China. So he has power to do whatever. And 2 days ago, Secretary Blinken spoke in Stanford University that he saw the Chinese move on Taiwan much earlier than 2027. He personally warned. So we can see that there's a lot of things going on. And at least Ukraine, the use of nuclear force, and there is a training, right? The Russians are training, and NATO are also training on nuclear weapons right there, at this very moment. So we understand this is like a DEFCON 3 or DEFCON 4. Right now, what we are at. Unfortunately, we only saw these DEFCONs in movies. They should actually be announcing it. America should prepare the world for such a thing.
Yes, indeed. And we'll talk more about this stuff in next episode, because there is something really cooking. And Elmer, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar, and I'll be back again very shortly with more developments from this area. Thank you very much, Elmer.
Thank you.